And these principles are at the heart of Kailasa. They're actually being implemented on the ground in Kailasa, being proven to work in Kailasa. So first we have wealth. And wealth is the ability to intelligently enrich society in various forms and inspire humanity to contribute back. Again, it's tied to social well-being, human flourishing, not just numbers, but people. And that enables continuous enrichment. And it's a dynamic model that is circular. It shares prosperity. It gives back to people. It doesn't just take and keep wealth hoarded by a very few. It keeps wealth circulating amongst the people. And finally, it fosters collective growth. It benefits everyone, not just the person becoming wealthy, but everybody. Second, we have currency. Currency is the methodology through which interactions and transactions occur. And the value is derived in a currency from remaining current. Is it circulating? Is it not stagnant? Is it still moving and dynamic and helping others? Is it facilitating exchange and interaction? Therefore, it stays in motion. It doesn't just get stuck in one place, in one person's bank vault. The idea is that it's constantly flowing throughout society and serving everybody. And finally, we have this notion of the economy, which is the collective wealth consciousness across the entire society, across multiple individuals. And it leads to an interconnected consciousness and a continuous flow of wealth and currency. These definitions are important because they create a more conscious economy, an economy where people are conscious beings, where they're looking to help others and to serve others, and thinking about how they can better humans' life. And here we will hear SPH speak on his concept of wealth.
If you understand the Sadashiva's concept of currency and Sadashiva's concept of wealth and Sadashiva's concept of economy, I'm defining wealth as per Sadashiva from Agamas. Your ability to intelligently enrich the society in some form. Enriching does not mean only through teaching. It can even be stitching their shoes. Even that is enriching. Enriching in some form. Enriching the humanity in some form and doing it very intelligently and inspiring the humanity to contribute back to you so you can continue to enrich. That's it. That is wealth. That is wealth consciousness. That's a strategy for wealth. Currency is modus operandi, the methodology through which interaction and transactions happen is currency. If the wealth consciousness is awakened in multiple people and you make the currency more current, that is called economy. That's all. Understand, I have defined these three words clearly. I have clearly defined these three words. Wealth, currency, economy. End of the day, just if your existence makes money, you will not be bothered about money. Your very consciousness will live wealthy. The economy Sadashiva is teaching is neither capitalism, nor communism, or socialism. It is responsibilism. The responsibility you take, that decides the kind of the wealth going to be around you.
Are you speaking on this next? Or
Yes. So to expand on the four Purusharthas, so in our Vedic tradition, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Kailasa's framework, it aligns to the four Purusharthas. So let us see what are these four. So the first is Dharma. Dharma is the cosmic law, the righteousness, what is right, what is wrong, doing things only which finally results in completion with yourself and the other person. So, not exploiting, not taking advantage of, not using any malpractice, and only with the intention of enriching yourself and the other person. When you act out of that space is what is dharma. The next is artha. Artha is the prosperity and wealth, where it gives us the guidance on how we should attract wealth. We are not saying that wealth, being wealthy or having wealth is wrong. It is only the how you carry yourself and how you acquire the wealth that needs to be changed, that needs to be enhanced to make sure that finally it is a win-win for all 8 billion people on this planet. The third is Kama. Our Vedic tradition also gives the various texts which even talk about the psychological values that drive the human motivation. And of course, moksha, which is the goal of our life, where liberation and being rooted in completion and the spiritual values that you hold is what is moksha. And when you operate out of these four, it is not out of fear, it is not out of greed, it is not out of jealousy, comparison, or any other emotion which drives you in your day to day life. When you operate out of these four principles, automatically that economic policy, when the economic policy supports these four principles, that is one of the highest and most accurate economic policy that gives a holistic approach to gaining wealth, sustaining wealth, and distributing wealth equally across everyone. We can go to the next slide. And also, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the principle of Advaita is oneness, and that is fundamental to Kailasa's economic policy, which is derived from the Vedas and Agamas. So, in the Ishavasya Upanishad, the first verse that is given is Ishavasyamidam sarvam yat kinja jagatya, the Vedas, that consciousness is the one that pervades everything. All this, whatever moves in the moving world, is enveloped by the divine. And it also says that Magridakasya svidhanam, which basically means that do not find enjoyment in coveting the wealth of anyone, find your enjoyment in renunciation. So the first verse of one of the source scriptures of the first Upanishad of our source scriptures reveals clearly that it gives the guidelines how we should be focused towards moksha and not towards coveting the wealth of others. And wealth in Hinduism is not just a utility value. Many people mistake the difference between currency and wealth. Wealth is not currency. Wealth is the smile that you find in your child's face. Wealth is the satisfaction that you have when you do dana, you do charity. That is wealth. Wealth is not currency, and when you know this in your day to day life, you start seeing everything in a different lens, when in your business, at home, or wherever you are, you start not trying to extract or trying to covet the wealth of others. Rather, you see it as an expansion of your enlightenment, your realization. And as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully put it, that the wealth is not going to be the currency or the number of zeros in your bank account. The wealth is what you hold, what you consciously build inside of you. And when every single person lives in this same space, that is what creates an enlightenment ecosystem. It fosters the enlightenment based ecosystem where these economic principles, it benefits all, and so that the whole ecosystem right now in the current modern day, the whole economy is literally melting people down. People are falling into depression. People are not able to live by the current economic policies. Rather, the Hindu economy and the economic solutions, when practiced, given by Kailasa, it evolves a whole ecosystem where each one only supports each other, and it becomes an enlightenment based ecosystem.
Thank you. Sorry for the delay. So, as Maharaj alluded to this, and we are going on to the next slide, which clearly says one thing. This is a people first, human as the center of the economy. A defining characteristic of the Kailasa economy is its people first approach, placing individuals ahead of profits and material wealth. His Holiness emphatically states people are wealth, people are life, people are energy, and finally, people are God. Give everything to people. People bring everything you need. This principle naturally flows from the focus on dharma and moksha, ensuring that the economy serves humanity's holistic well-being. In this system, people and Paramashiva are considered co-creators of money with the ability to intelligently contribute. The intelligent contribution is being the true wealth. Next slide.
The next, we will be talking about the non-violent and non-exploitative economic principles. In Kailasa's economy, we have the four main pillars that support the economy, which guide everyone on how they should carry themselves and to develop the ecosystem where each one supports each other. And these four pillars are the ahimsa, non-violence, asteya, non-stealing, aparigraha, non-possessiveness, and satya, which is truthfulness. In the modern day, yes, we have these values, but many times all of us forget or put aside these values for our personal gain, and because of the ecosystem of being in a capitalistic or consumeristic lifestyle, it is unfortunate that these principles are forgotten in our day-to-day lives. Ahimsa extends to all economic activities, ensuring that the businesses doesn't cause harm to individuals, animals, or the environment. For example, as Vinesh Ayya was talking about, how even in our food, the companies, the fast food companies are ready to put chemicals, plastic, or whatever it takes to minimize the cost of the food while knowing that it is harmful to a normal human being. And this is a simple example of which is direct violence towards the human beings who are eating those food. And that is what, when we practice ahimsa, it then becomes a win-win, where the person giving the food, many of us can see the annalayas which Kailasa has, which we'll be expanding in the later parts of the section also, where just by giving free food, Kailasa is able to enrich so many human beings, and those human beings, out of gratitude, do give their donations in return. This is what is a prosperous ecosystem going towards the space of a good economic society. Next, we have the asteya, non-stealing, which emphasizes fair and honest dealings, prohibiting any form of theft or illicit gain in economic transactions. I'm sure many of us know about how corrupt many systems are, how the bribery has become a daily fashion, and this is what makes the economy of many countries crumble, because they are not able to handle the corruption in their system. And this can be changed when people do not steal, when you don't have the deep state in the government trying to literally use the citizens and gain everything for themselves. Also, we have aparigraha, which is non-possessiveness, which encourages conscious consumptions and discourages excessive accumulation of wealth, which beautifully we saw in the last segment, where Ravi Ayya explained how 1% or 2% of the world's population is holding more than 90% of the whole world's economy. And this has also been proven, this has also been given in many studies, including the recent reports from Oxfam International, where the billionaire wealth surged dramatically in the last year, growing by trillions of dollars, while the number of people living in poverty has seen only a drastic, it has only gone up in the past one decade, where 1% hold a vast portion of the global assets, while almost 50% of the world are living in the poverty line or under the poverty line. And of course, we have the basic value of satya, which is truthfulness, which upholds transparency and honesty in all transactions, which is literally the underlying fabric with which all economic dealings need to happen. And in Kailasa's economic principles, in Kailasa's economic ecosystem, we do not promote or we prohibit industries like drugs, alcohol, and exploitative, any policy which exploits a person or any living being or anything in that matter, or any business that can cause harm to any individual. For example, even in many countries, they literally give the alcohol is cheaper than even drinking water. And this is the poor state of our economy, where basic necessities are even given less priority than those substances which put people into depression, which are controlling the people, addicting the people. Instead of that, Kailasa's economic policies promote the businesses that are based on all of these four principles, businesses that enrich both sides of the transaction and fosters ownership and shared responsibility. And these are the four principles with which any business is evaluated, any transaction, any economic decision is evaluated in Kailasa. And as we explained earlier, dana, we can go to the next slide. Dana is one of the most important part of the Hindu economy, where dana is the principle of charity and enriching. There are multiple scriptures in the Rig Veda and other source scriptures which talk about dana. Many of us feel that when we do charity, it is only the currency which is going out of our pocket. But many of us don't understand that just by doing the dana, it is that part of you are enriching to gain more and give more to sustain the economy. For example, we have the various truths, the Shastra Pramana in the Rig Veda and other Shastras, which beautifully say that the happiness of his subjects lies in the king's happiness, in their welfare, his welfare. He shall not consider as good only that which is dear to him, but as good as which is dear to his subjects. This is directly from the Arthashastra, which basically gives the economic principles of how the kings, how the business owners, how the top tier of the economic chain should function, where he does not focus on his wealth, rather the wealth, the happiness, the fortune of his employees, of his citizens. And we have a beautiful contrast in the Hindu tradition where it compares two divinity, two objects of our Hindu history. One is Kubera, one of the divinities in Hinduism, where the wealth that is only stagnant, which is unproductive, it only maintains as a zero in the bank account, which disrupts the whole economy. Rather, we have Devi, a goddess who represents the wealth, the circulation of currency in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which represents the circulating wealth that generates prosperity. And whenever you do dana, if you ask anybody who has given for charity, who has given, or even in Kailasa, we have many of our Sarvagnya Pitha Yajamans and Kartas, including of many of our, actually all of our panelists today. And they can share every one of their experience when they gave for the betterment of humanity, when they gave their wealth for the betterment, for serving the humanity. It never only went, and it always came back multifold. And that is the economic principle with which Kailasa functions, with which the Hindu economy functions, that when you give, when you maintain circulating economy always comes back to you, and that punya that you get, the auspiciousness, the quality in you that you start growing consciously, it keeps only multiplying and making yourself more wealthy. We can go to the next slide. Kailasa's economic framework departs from the traditional birth-based hierarchies, where we have the various families or networks of people who constantly hoard the wealth and do not share it with anybody else. Rather, Kailasa maintains an all-inclusive economic system where, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully said, it is based on responsibility that somebody's economy is decided. It is not based on caste or creed or religion or race. It is only the responsibility that measures someone's someone's economic worth in Hinduism. And in Kailasa, to donate this high level of responsibility, this high level of consciousness, the various rituals, practices, and the day-to-day life, the Charya Pada, which is practiced to ensure the equal status which is given to all members of the society. We can go to the next slide. And while we talk about equality, a very important aspect of equality, of course, is women empowerment, where in the Sanatana Hindu Dharma or in Kailasa, women are held, the divine feminine, of course, as we have the auspicious festival of Navaratri approaching. In Hinduism we are proud to say that we are the only tradition in the world that worships the divine feminine, that worships the divinity in feminine. And in Kailasa, of course, we have a staggering 80% of women in high positions in Kailasa, and even in Hindu families on a day-to-day basis, you will see that it is the women who hold the gold, who hold the wealth in the family. And that is the importance that the Hindu economy, the Kailasa's economy gives to women, and make sure that both sides, whether it is man or woman, is equally responsible and given the responsibility of wealth in businesses, in any administrative positions, in the leadership positions. And gender equality is a lifestyle in Sanatana Hindu Dharma.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So there's really 5 basic core concepts and values at the heart of Kailasa's economic vision. First, we have responsibilism, the idea beyond capitalism and beyond socialism and communism, that wealth is directly correlated to responsibility, and that success in that economy and wealth is directly determined by the contribution to the rest of society. This ties to this notion of oneness at the heart of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, that we are all connected, we are all extensions of each other, we are all divine, that we are not individual islands in an ocean, we are actually part of that collective ocean. And that model is completely different from capitalism, where we can extract from others and take from others, and it's a zero-sum game. This creates a non-zero-sum interaction, where by helping others, it helps ourselves. Equality in equal opportunity, as Maharaj just explained, the notion that all human beings are fundamentally divine, that it is not by birth one is superior or inferior, but by their qualities and by their works, by guna and karma. This means men and women are equal, and then there's fair wealth sharing based on the contributions, the skills, the inputs, the knowledge of that person. Not their birth, but what they do. Next, and this is such an important point, is that ethics are baked in. They are central to the economic model. Economics are inseparable from ethics. And because these ethical values of non-violence, of non-stealing, of non-possessiveness, the more we integrate those notions into an economy, it keeps that economy in a grounded level, where it can't be turned and pushed towards profit only. It's still tied towards that fundamental well-being and flourishing of humanity. It integrates wealth with cosmic law. And finally, charity. This notion of dana, that when you give, wealth circulates and it comes back to you. It is not a zero-sum interaction. When you give, you don't lose, you only gain. And it prioritizes the enrichment of society over static accumulation. This is, again, that dynamic notion that wealth should not be hoarded, it should not be kept, it should be shared and kept moving for a healthy economy. So Kailasa, these concepts are great in theory, great in principle. Kailasa is really the place where these principles are being practiced. And here are some examples of how they're being implemented. So, for example, with dana, in Kailasa, the principle is free education, that knowledge is a foundation, that getting skills is a fundamental right of every human being. Holistic healthcare, that we need natural, holistic, traditional medicines available to all, not just to those who can afford it. An agricultural-based economy, and we'll talk more on this later, that grain and can be a physical commodity that backs the currency, that fiat currencies, which are based purely on the whims of a central bank, are not healthy and not sustainable. Rather, we should tie it back to physical things, not just precious metals, but grain and land. A contribution-based economy, where value is time and energy invested in your fellow man. Decentralized finance, where we have a notion very much different from our current model, which is one where wealth is concentrated and controlled by very few. Instead, we need a decentralized model where it fosters innovation and shares wealth among the many. Finally, a temple-based society. The temple provides the ethical grounding, the spiritual grounding for the entire community, but it also acts as a community hub, an economic hub, an education hub for the entire society as well. The temple is really the nucleus of any Hindu society, and Kailasa is bringing that back in the modern world.
Thank you, Vineshaya. The next one is a free education. The key principle of Kailasa's education system is knowledge should be free, accessible to all regardless of background or circumstances. It is rooted in Dharma Prusottas. The education is meant to help a student align with the four goals of the life: Dharma, Artha, Karma, Moksha. The focus is on creating responsible, ethical, and liberated beings, not just for job seeking. The awakening of consciousness, the technique like yoga, meditation, puja, completion process, and initiation are integral part of the education. The goal is to awaken higher intelligence. And also it has to be free and accessible, in line with the principle that knowledge grows by sharing. Education is considered as a free good. It should be available to all without barriers of wealth, caste, or background. And also is balance of inner and outer sciences. Inner science meaning spiritual truth, self-realization, yogic sciences, integrity, and ethics. And also it applied the knowledge and the Gurukul system and model on the traditional Gurukul system where a student live and learn in an environment to the free process and learning in freely. It also emphasized on experiential learning, practical application, and community service, and also funded by collective resources, gratitude as a payment. Education is seen as a gift of knowledge. To ensure that knowledge is not just for the survival or job, but also conscious living and global enrichment. to create a generation capable of solving social and global crises from a space of higher consciousness. Finally, and Kailasa education system define the education as an important process of awakening higher consciousness while equipping students with a practical knowledge. It is free, holistic, responsibility-centered, non-violent, and aligned to both spiritual liberation and worldly contribution. This also solved youth unemployment, eliminating the debt burden, and also path to the entrepreneurship. Thank you.
We have done so much hard work and we are successful now in organizing ourselves. Soon you will hear the good news and the address where you can come and study peacefully. I am going to follow, I commit now itself with you guys. I am going to follow the Hindu economy principles. Education is free. We beg from people. We ask, request, beg people to fund. We ask people, please give us Guru Dakshina. But no one will be denied education because they don't have money. No. No economical reason will stop you getting educated. Now itself I commit with all the Hindus all over the world. This whole Kailasa's NHU, Nithyananda Hindu University, physical campus or virtual university, digital university, both will function with the principle. Hinduism believes strongly knowledge is free. Guru is supposed to beg from people all over the world, and whatever he gets by begging, with that he has to teach and support students. Please understand, not only knowledge will be free, while you are staying in campus and studying, we will provide all your basic needs, food, stay, clothes, and medical care, all your other bodily maintenance needed, like a housekeeping maintenance. Everything as per Hinduism, all of that will be provided free of cost. I am going to follow, bring legitimacy to Hindu economy principles in every level. Paramashiva says very clearly, some things should be given absolutely free, like a medicine, education, all these should be absolutely free. There are some things which can be bartered, like a sharing, exchange basis. Some things which can be sold. So as per Paramashiva's economy policy, we will run Kailasa. Soon I will give my third gift, world's largest Hindu university, physical and online, digital.
This is a continuation of the last topic regarding education and how knowledge needs to be free and available to all individuals, regardless of background, regardless of race, regardless of age and circumstance. This education model does two important things. It helps solve the youth unemployment crisis, which we spoke about earlier, because it allows people to gain skills without being in debt for the rest of their lives. It also gives them actionable skills that they can use then for a future career and a pathway to entrepreneurship and professions. And the idea is that society would fund this through charity, through dana, and gratitude is the payment. Each would pay what they are able to contribute back to that education institution or that guru.
Thank you, Vineshaya. So all of this comes down to one important thing: holistic care, holistic health care, and food security. Paramashiva's Agamas emphasize that daily living essentials like healthcare, clothing, and food should be created in a self-sufficient manner. This stands in stark contrast to the modern consumption-based economy, which often outsources basic needs, leading to dependencies on food-like products. This leads to declining public health and overall, and also mental health. Kailasa's economy revives the traditional concept of wealth from the ocean, Sanganidhi, and ground, Padmanidhi, elevating grain to the same level of importance as gold. Next slide. This shift promotes self-sustaining ecosystems where health is paramount and healthcare too, and moves beyond a sickness and cure model to a holistic preventative care in nature with harmony, treating individuals as conscious beings rather than isolated biomechanical systems. This directly addresses wealth inequality by ensuring fundamental well-being for all, irrespective of their financial status. Next slide. SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam prophesizes a profound shift in currency-based economy. The currency-based economy is going to collapse and grain-based economy is going to come. He urges a return to a vegetarian lifestyle and the practice of growing one's own food. Through agriculture and vertical gardening, grain will regain its importance, trading like money, much like traditional economies. Historically, food grain banks were crucial for food security in Hindu nations. Providing grain loans with simple interest and writing off debts during famines is a tradition that was tragically destroyed during the colonial times, leading to mass starvation. The recent revival of such a grain bank by farmers in Bihar during COVID-19 lockdowns demonstrate its modern-day relevance. In this new order, not only food, but also medicine will return to its roots. Food and medicine should come from the land, not from the labs, SPH has mentioned. SPH also identifies castor oil and haritaki as the new goal for detoxification to be distributed freely as a fundamental aspect of health and well-being. Next slide.
And in Hindu tradition, the two-layer, the economic principle, one is the currency. Technically in Sanskrit, if I translate that concept, it's called grain-based currency, means just by possessing and owning, it has its own utility value, whether the grains are the precious metals, precious gems. By its own value, it has a value. There is no other regulatory body required to establish its value. By you owning, and the way it is used, demanded in the society, healthy society, by this simple existence, it has value. Second, the regulatory body always made sure the principle of enlightenment was kept alive in all their regulatory principles. How and why gold should be precious metal? How and why what gems will be considered as precious? Everything. The whole regulating mechanism was enlightenment centric. Understand? Rajaraja, for example, builds a huge temples. All of you need to know, it's not that he built only Tanjore temple. Please understand. He built large number of temples. Krishnadevaraya built large number of temples. I should say that all great known kings of Hinduism, whether Cambodia or Somanath or Chidambaram or Tanjore or Jagannath or Nepal or Sri Lanka, anywhere the Hindu civilization was prevalent. It was all temple-centric, temple-based, because that was the source of our knowledge, our economy, principles, systems and strategies. Temple building and sustenance was one of the most beautiful method to keep the economy current. Currency has value only as long as the current is kept alive. So the current is kept alive to keep the value of the currency through this large size temple building and running. I tell you, the concept of common debt is the story of Venkateshwara borrowing money from Kubera for his marriage and still repaying. It's a most beautiful story. If you understand that story, you will understand this concept of common debt. How beautifully, dharmically, the modern day concept of common debt is expressed in the story of Venkateshwara borrowing money from Kubera for his marriage and still repaying the loan.
Just to expand more on the holistic healthcare and food security, as Saveshaya was expanding on it, the self-sufficiency is the principle of Kailasa's economy, where in all Kailasas across the globe, all the ecosystems are encouraged to have their own gardens, and even whether it is spiritually or even in a economic perspective, growing your own vegetables, growing your own the crops you need for your health is one of the most organic ways of living. which is what Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has revived in this modern day. And agriculture is the foundation for economic security, as we have seen, whether it is in the pandemic or in the ongoing economic crisis. It is when you are self-sufficient with the basic agriculture, you do not need to be disturbed by the various turbulences in the economy which is being caused by the new world order.
In Hindu tradition, doctors are paid not based on you falling sick, but based on your income. Whole village gives share from the harvest to the doctor. Doctor makes sure the whole village is healthy. This is called healthy medical industry. See, only by you falling sick, doctor is going to gain money. How do you expect doctor should be praying for your health? If the policies are impractical, why are you demanding extreme moral standards from doctors? Tell me. Policies should be practical. If policies are impractical and constantly blaming doctors, accusing doctors, come on, that's impractical, wrong. Policy should be right. When doctor knows the village's health, my county's health, my taluk's health, my area's health is going to make me more wealthy, he will do research on your diet, he will support you in every level to be healthy, because your health makes him wealthy. Not your sickness. Your body is not income source for him. Your active life is income source for him. Understand the shift. This is Hindu economic policies. So, the Kailasa will have the same policies. In Kailasa, we will be practicing these same policies.
Also, as part of Kailasa's economic policies, we have the contribution-based currency, which is the Shiva Punya, where the value is determined by contribution, not just by profit or hoarding. Even in Kailasa's parliamentary structure, the contribution, the responsibility which is taken by the parliament members is what makes them the parliament members of Kailasa. It is not by status, it is not by race, or it is not by caste or creed. It is by the responsibility that each one of the members of Kailasa's Raj Sabha, Kailasa's parliament is taking, whether it is in the aspect of generating the good work, doing the good activities that Kailasa is performing, or generating the resources for doing those good activities in any way in our Chit Sabha, Raj Sabha and other wings of Kailasa's parliament. It is only based on the contribution that each one is putting, whether it is their time, their energy, and that is what is regarded as the contribution, and that is how Kailasa's economy functions. And this beautiful ecosystem, it evolves a sattvic, non-corruption based ecosystem where nobody is able to control all the wealth, nor the wealth or the recognition is being stopped at a level that people are not able to receive the basic benefits. And that is the beauty of the economic system established and revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the societal contribution, each one plays a role in the development of their ecosystem, and that is what makes it a collective ecosystem where each one contributes and there is no hoarding, corruption, or any of the negative aspects of the modern day ecosystems.
Thank you, Maharaj. The next topic we are going to talk about the decentralized finance. The decentralized finance in Kailasa means the financial ecosystem where wealth, resources, and decision-making are not centralized in a single authority, but distributed across communities and aligned with rightness and non-violence and non-storing common contribution. It ensures that no one can exploit or monetize wealth, and that financial power is spread among people and temple guided by highly respected principles. The key features of centralized finance under Kailasa: no central ownership of wealth, the donation to temples, organization, and are contributed as belonging to the deities or the cosmos, not individual. Leaders or administrators only manage fund, they don't own them. And also the community-based resource management. The local communities, sanghas, and temples take responsibility for producing, storing, and distributing the wealth like a food, medicine, shelter, and currency. The decision making is collective and transparent. And Kailasa, in the economic sense, every donation or financial resources has a dedicated purpose: temple upkeep, education, food distribution. Money is never diverted to unrelated uses. And self-sufficiency and the local production. Instead of relying on the globalized supply chain or centralized cooperation, communities aim to produce their own food, healthcare, and also shelter needs. The wealth must keep moving through contribution and service. Storing or speculation is discouraged as it creates inequality. And finally, the purpose of decentralized financial in Kailasa to eliminate wealth inequality by preventing central control or monopoly, to empower communities with financial autonomy, to align all financial activities with spiritual and ethical principles, to protect Kailasa's citizen from dependence on unstable fiat economies and also unwanted financial system. Finally, decentralized finance under Kailasa means dharmic, community-driven financial system where wealth belongs to the collective, not individual, where money is circulated for service, not for storing, and where alternative currencies and local production ensure self-sufficiency and independent and distribution of wealth evenly. Thank you. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Ravi. So Kailasa's economic model offers direct and powerful solutions to wealth inequality, as Ravi Aya mentioned. These are based on a few points. The first one is responsibilism. This ensures that wealth is tied to intelligence, societal enrichment, and the responsibility one takes, inherently preventing the concentration of wealth purely for personal gain. The emphasis on Lakshmi wealth, circulating money through mandatory charity, dana, ensures that wealth is continuously distributed and prevents static accumulation in the hands of a few. A non-exploitative labor philosophy invests workers in the outcomes, promoting equitable distribution of wealth based on skill and input and giving them true ownership. The proposed decentralized Hindu Reserve Bank with its distributed ownership structure actively prevents the centralization of financial power, promoting broader and more equitable participation. Finally, the provision of free education, holistic healthcare, and self-sufficient food system removes fundamental financial barriers and ensuring basic well-being for all and creating a more level economic playing field. Thank you. Next slide.
So next we see how Kailasa addresses the youth unemployment, which is an ongoing crisis in the modern day. In Kailasa, first of all, the education is free, where it doesn't trap you in the debt cycle. For example, I'm sure all of us can relate with this in our day-to-day lives, where you have taken a student loan and you had to complete your education, and then you go for a job to pay off the student loan. And by the time you pay off your student loan, you have a child, and that child next has to go to college. To go to college, that child takes a student loan, and that child goes to job to finish the student loan. And this is how the whole economy is functioning today, where the individual is put into the cycle of having debt in education, which is a right to every single person. In the Vedic tradition, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, education is not used as a weapon to make you to work your whole life, to exploit you, to pay back for just receiving a degree that you have earned. Rather, it gives you education to enhance yourself, to build the economy. So instead of being a load on the economy by trying to repay your debts, you become an active member to enhance the economy. And that is one of the important policies of Kailasa's economy, and which doesn't allow the youth to be wasted by paying off their student loans. Second is, of course, agriculture-based economy, where hundreds and thousands of individuals have an option, where in the modern day, many jobs are becoming irrelevant, many career paths are becoming irrelevant, and there is a huge unemployment rate with AI looming over our heads. And one of the most tangible place where anyone can utilize their time, treasure, and talent is agriculture. Because at the end of the day, humans cannot eat AI. Humans need the food to exist, and the agriculture-based economy are the only economies which are going to survive. And that is one of the biggest solution that Kailasa gives to youth all over the world, where youth can take up self-sufficiency, making every ecosystem, making every place self-sufficient, where they don't need to rely on the fiat currency-based economies, and you can rely on your ecosystem, where each individual is empowered to support the ecosystem, to support their local economies by their time, treasure, and talent. Also in Kailasa, one of the important aspects is the economy based on innovation. In Kailasa, we don't believe in the youth going towards the path of just becoming an engineer or doctor, which millions of youth are being pushed into. Each individual is encouraged, is given the signs on how they can choose their career path and the careers of their whole lineage, which is again mentioned in the Vedas and Agamas, where when you follow the career of your parents, you excel more than your parents excelled. And that goes into a virtuous cycle where you are able to innovate more, advance more in technology, advance more in a contributing based economy. And of course, we have the lifelong learning where individuals are given the tools, given the resources to continuously improve in their fields and go more and more towards an enlightenment based economy, an enlightenment based lifestyle, instead of going towards a lifestyle where paying your bills and clearing your debts is the only way to go forward.
SPH Bhagavan Nithyananda reminds us that the legitimacy and usefulness of any economic system is tied directly to the benefits it offers to actual human beings and to their flourishing. He solves the problems of capitalism versus communism through responsibilism, and he shows us that the ancient world, through Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we can find solutions to all the modern ills that we're facing in our modern economy, whether it's wealth inequality, whether it's runaway debt and inflation, or youth unemployment. We learned about how the Kailasa economy believes in free essentials. Things like food, healthcare, education should be free to all, no matter what their means are. And that by doing this, it's an investment in that society. It provides education provides employment opportunities. Healthcare keeps a healthy population, which is not a burden on society. And it also leads to self-sufficient food systems, where food is not controlled by a few, but it becomes a community affair. We learned about the agricultural temple model, where we have a grain-backed currency, which puts grain and land at the forefront of the currency, not a central bank, which can, by its whims, inflate and deflate. It ties the economy back to reality, back to the land, as well as a temple-based civilization, where the temple acts as the nucleus, the hub for that broader community, acting as an educational hub, acting as a commerce hub, and a spiritual hub especially. We learned about decentralized finance, where a Hindu reserve bank that is community-run can operate with ethical principles like ahimsa, nonviolence, and non-stealing and non-exploitation, thereby tying investments back to human good and positive causes, not exploitation. We learned about the cosmic currency that would be backed by agricultural resources, not by, and therefore immune to inflation and deflation. All these various features provide the solutions to the three areas we discussed earlier, three problem areas of our modern economy: wealth inequality, youth unemployment, and debt and inflation. Through our ancient wisdom and ancient scriptures, SPH has shown us that there is hope, that there is an alternative model to the systems we currently are using and which are currently breaking apart ever since COVID. From ancient wisdom flows a new economic paradigm. That's SPH's mission in the world, to create a superconscious society, and Kailasa is the means to get there, here and now.
Yes, Vinishaya, and also before we come to the end of this session, we also wanted to take questions from our audience here in Zoom and also on all our social media platforms. And we actually have one of our social media viewer asking, how does the system support those who are unable to contribute, such as the elderly, children, or individuals with severe disabilities? Vinishaya, would you want to answer this question?
Sure. I know Swamiji has mentioned how for the elderly, they are a font of wisdom. They have life experience. They have so much knowledge to share with the world. Elderly people, they're not to be shunted away in some retirement home. They should be in our communities. They should be with our kids. They should be with our everyone to teach them the lessons they've learned and share their wisdom. It's true for children as well. It's true for the disabled. Everyone has something to offer. Everyone has knowledge. Everyone has abilities, and everyone has something to share. And by tapping those resources, it only entire. So, though in our modern economy, those seen as liabilities. Kids are a liability because you have to pay for daycare. Parents are a liability to pay for retirement homes. But in the economic model, they are assets.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aya. And sustainable. Ravi Aya, Sabesh Aya, would you like to answer this?
Sure, I am. The answer I have for this is the Kailasa model talks about self-sufficiency as a primary goal. So small business are very integral to manage small communities, which are part of a conglomerate of a large communities. So Kailasa's big focus is self-sufficiency and making sure everybody contributes to the community. So which is a big focus for small business rather than having large corporations take over something and produce products and goods that are not relevant to the community and the economic benefits for members of the community.
Thank you, Sabesh. Let me add a few more points to Sabesh Aya's comment. Swamiji told many times and mentioned that everybody should be a business owner and everybody should focus on becoming owning a business with their unique talent. And everyone, according to Swamiji, and everyone has the unique talent and a purpose, and they have to find their uniqueness to improve and empower and become a business owners. So the SPH clearly mentioned many times there are many paths within our Sangha to gain knowledge and strength to become a business owners and sustain their business model. I think there are a lot of materials available within the Sangha to gain with your uniqueness and prosper with that uniqueness to sustain and empower and enrich with your own business. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi Aya and Sabesh Aya. And with this, we also wanted to take a moment to invite all of our viewers watching us live and to also tell the world that this economy that we spoke about today, which is the Hindu economy, is thousands of years old, yet relevant in our day-to-day lives, relevant today in today's world. And Kailasa offers a vision and a model to the whole world for being the revival of this ancient Hindu economy. And Kailasa invites all of you to learn more about these Hindu economic policies. And whether you are a statesman, whether you are a citizen, whether you are a business owner, or you're a child going to college, all of you can benefit directly from these at various levels. And we invite all of you to join us at the UAN Paramashiva Sena Summit happening in St. Kitts and Nevis from the 1st of October to the 1st of November. And of course, you can visit Kailasa's online platform at kailasa.org and You can also find us on all the social media platforms. And we also want to take a moment. If you have any more questions about the Hindu economic policies, you can even go to nityananda.ai, which is the AI Ask Nithyananda, the AI, the world's first spiritual AI, which is directly given as a gift from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which has all of the answers to any of the questions you have related to the Hindu economy. And it is literally a reservoir of knowledge that you can now access through the gift of AI. We also have the UAN's official website at unitedancientnations.org, and you can register for the Paramashiva Sena program at ecitizen.info/PSS. And with this, I would like to thank all our panelists, Vineshaya, Sabeshaya, and Raviyaya, and thank the Science Summit organization to invite us to share these truths on the ancient Hindu principles and share with you the gifts that Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism can bring to the world, and for giving us such a beautiful platform that we can share with. I would like to thank all the viewers watching us live on the various social media platforms and those who have joined us in Zoom. And we would like to conclude this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Sri Mahants, Mahants, Tanedars, Kotaris, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, and two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha all over the world. The city is sitting with us via two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha, Kuala Lumpur, Palani, Singapore, Singapuram, Manhattan, New York, Guadalupe, Rameshwaram, New York, Varanasi, Wisconsin, Houston, Kalahasti, Houston, Texas, Rajabalayam, Madinam, Thiruvannamalai, Kulim, Tiruttani, Seattle, Chidambaram, Hyderabad, Guptakashi, Toronto, Thirukkailayam, Los Angeles, Arunachalam, Vancouver, Canada, San Jose, Madurai, San Diego, La Jolla, Ohio, Prague, Oklahoma, Somanatham, Warrington, UK, Colombo, Sri Lanka, Seremban, Shivagasi. And some more cities are joining. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. First, my blessings to all of you on this auspicious mission day, the day the Sangha flowered. Understand, years. We are now 12-year young organization. We have completed 12 years and we have seen all the seasons. One full Mamangam and one full Kumbh Mela period. First, I wanted to thank everyone who is with us, standing, supporting in whatever way they can as a part. Understand, whatever may be, even if you are a visitor, you mean to us. Not just the volunteers or people who are part of our Sangha, even you are a visitor, you mean to us, we are here for you. We exist to serve you. Only by you accepting our service, we are doing for what we meant to be. So by accepting our service, you are keeping us alive. You are keeping us living. So everyone, whether a visitor or a viewer or who receives our services, every one of you mean to us a lot. And I thank every one of you for keeping us alive. It is for all of you I exist and we exist. Thank you guys for keeping us alive. Today is also the day as per the English calendar, my birthday. We usually celebrate my birthday as per the Vedic tradition, Vedic calendar. So this year it falls on the Margazhi month, Chitra Nakshatra. Falls on January 13th. We'll be celebrating on January 13th. But because it is celebrated as a Brahmotsavam, from today we will be starting all the temple rituals and temple functions, rituals and processions. We'll be starting from today on this auspicious day. My blessings to every one of you from the beginning, knowingly, unknowingly, directly, indirectly, whoever has strengthened us, supported us, stood with us, still standing with us. To every one of you, I thank, I give my gratitude, I thank you. Some people, even their hit, made us very strong. So everyone who directly, indirectly contributed, I thank every one of you. Today, the Bidadi Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham is offering 108 Nivedyams to Mahadeva and all the other temple cities are also offering many offerings, Nivedyams. Above all, the love and the devotion, commitment of all the satsangis, samajis who supported us by sharing their treasure, talent, time, and made this Sangha as it is now. I thank every one of you. My message for this whole year: living Advaita. Living Advaita. Everyone will be exploding into Shivoham by living Advaita. From today, formally I inaugurate speaking on Upanishads. From today, formally, I inaugurate speaking on Upanishads. By uttering the first Upanishad mantra, formally, I inaugurate the Upanishad series. This expression will be called as Living Advaita series. And as I already said, I am not going to interpret, I am just going to intercept the conversations of rishis and relate to you all. I am not going to be interpreting the conversations of rishis, I am just going to intercept the conversations of rishis. And with this mantra, I'll inaugurate the Upanishad series. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Living Advaita means realizing you are whole, one with the whole. You are not a broken or separated, divided part. Please understand. Broken means once for all taken out. Separated means internally divided. Divided means in the internal subdivision. You are neither broken nor separated or even entered into subdivision from the whole. The whole exists as whole. It is not that now you will achieve completion and in the future you will experience complete completion. The completion is complete completion when you realize even in your past you were always completely complete. Living Advaita means realizing the complete completion not just in the present or in the future. The person who says, in the future I will be completely complete, is a yogi. The person who says, now itself I am completely complete, is a tantric. The person who realizes, not only in the future or present, even in the past I was completely complete, is Advaiti. Understand the depth of the completion is complete in you when you understand even in the past you were complete. When your incompletions of the past becomes not only meaningless or irrelevant, it is just unrememberable, uncognizable by you. When they don't have any more place in you, you are living Advaita. You are living Advaita. Understand Upanishads. The main message of the Upanishads is not just in the future you will be complete. I can say, in the future you will be complete is the message of Yoga Sutras. Even now you are complete is the message of Shiva Sutras. Even in the past you were complete is the message of Upanishads. Understand, complete healing happens in you not just by becoming complete in the future or in the present. Only when you realize even in the past you were complete, only then the complete completion happens in you. And Upanishads Only Upanishads have an audacity. That's the right word I'll use. Have an audacity to tell you, not just telling you, has courage to give you the experience. Even in the past, you were completely complete. That is why I am telling you. What will happen if you practice Yoga Sutras can be predicted? What will happen if you practice Yoga Sutras can be experienced? What will happen if you realize Upanishads can neither be predicted nor be explained? Can neither be predicted nor be explained. I am telling you, living Advaita means not just becoming completely complete in the future, not just becoming completely complete in the present, realizing experientially you were completely complete even in the past. There was never ever any incompletion in you. That realization is living Advaita, and that can be given only by Upanishads. Upanishads, the original source of all religions, original source of all the truths. I am not just going to interpret, as I said, I am just going to directly intercept. The conversations happened and read them out. Just present it to all of you. Living Advaita heals, completes, fulfills, puts bliss not just in your future or in the present, even in your past. Only living Advaita is capable of changing your past. You may think, how can past be changed? It's already over. No. Nothing is over. As long as you remember, still it exists. Anything you remember, still it exists. Anything of the past you still remember is present. It is present about the past. It is about the past, but it is present. The pain you have about the past, incompletion you have about the past, it may be about the past, but it is present. That is why it is still paining. It is still experientially incomplete. Same way, a desire. It may be about the future, but it is present. That is why it is so powerful to inspire you to move towards it. It can drive you experientially. Anything which is not present will not have power over you, doesn't have life. So past or future is present. So understand, as long as you remember, it is still alive. As much as you can extend into your future, it is only about the future, but it is in the present. All your desires are about the future, in the present. All your creations, declarations, everything you wanted is about the future, but in the present. All your pains, guilt, incompletions, about the past, but in the present. It is Upanishads, one and only Upanishads, declare with a clear understanding and experientially complete your past in the present, future in the present, and present in the present, and when the completion of present in the present happens, past in the present happens, future in the present happens, the complete completion happens, not only your future and present, even past is transformed. No account is settled till you realize, reach living Advaita in the cosmos. The last moment of the war, the climax, who wins or who loses, that is going to decide the whole history of the war. Understand, if Hitler has won, the World War, Second World War history will be different. Ravana would have never won. But if Ravana would have won, the whole Ramayana will be different. It may not have been even Ramayana, it would have been Ravanayana. In the life, the last victory, if you achieve living Advaita, the whole history, your past will be rewritten, and just for you to reach the living Advaita, your past gets in store but does not get recorded. Understand? Anybody's past once get recorded in the cosmos, that is what comes down as Purana. Means he has completed and recorded it in the cosmos. From amoeba to Ananta Narayana, he has finished the journey, he has won the game. So now he is presented as Purana, Bhagavata Purana. From Matsya to Kalki. Understand, all our files are still in pending, not yet archived. Even now, by waking up and living Advaita, we can rewrite the whole history. You can rewrite the whole history. Not just socially, even cosmically. Who cares about the social history? Cosmically. Cosmically. So understand, taking the decision to live Advaita means deciding to reach the space of complete completion to the extent even where your past is rewritten. Not just the present or the future. Even your past is rewritten. Get ready to enter into this great journey from today. The great mystical journey from today. If you missed Shivoham in Cambodia, don't worry. Through this Upanishad series, I am bringing the Shivoham to your bedroom. I am bringing Shivoham to your halls. I am bringing Shivoham to your kitchens. I am bringing Shivoham to your home. I am bringing Shivoham to your heart. Nothing can be compared to Upanishads. You may think whenever I speak on any book, this is what exactly I repeat. But now, the logic I am presenting, understand. Patanjali dares only to say, your future can be completed, do these practices. Even Mahadeva dares only to say up to, even your present will be completed immediately, practice these techniques. In Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Only the Upanishad, which nobody knows who wrote it. The truth is, nobody wrote it, they only channeled it. Only the Upanishads have audacity to tell, not just your past or just your present, not just your future or just your present, even your past can be transformed. Even your past can be rearranged, because nothing is complete. Nothing is complete. Nothing is complete till you start living Advaita. Understand? Mahadeva vibrated the cosmic knowledge, Vedas, as Dakshinamurti. Rishis radiated it and read it out from the cosmic knowledge. That is the way Upanishads were delivered to the planet Earth. Mahadeva just sat in the silence as Dakshinamurti under the banyan tree and radiated it as a vibration, vibrant silence, living silence, the alive silence. And Rishis just spelled out the cosmic records, the Akashic records in words and shared with the world. This is the way the Upanishads have happened. Now I am going to do all the three at a time. Mahadeva, will radiate, is radiating, has radiated. These great truths. Now, he will continue to radiate these great truths to every one of our transformation and experiencing it. Get ready to live Advaita. Let me define living Advaita. Living Advaita means realizing not just in the future you will be out of Maya, delusion, not just in the present you are out of Maya experientially. It is realizing even in the past you were never in the clutches of Maya, is living Advaita. It is far, far beyond enlightenment word. What you have been explained through the word enlightenment, what idea you have about enlightenment, what was the promise given to you through the word enlightenment. The truth of living Advaita is far higher and beyond. Enlightenment is always about either the future or the present. It is only living Advaita has the courage to tell you the truth about the past also. As long as present is not, future is not complete, the past also can't be complete. Till you die, your whole biography can't be written. Only with the last moment, your biography can be written. Same way, till you finish your future, your past cannot be frozen. You might be eating in the McDonald's your whole life. Left, right, center, up, down, whatever you want. But suddenly, you die and your body doesn't disintegrate and it is just sitting like a Paramahamsa Yogananda's body, as a great enlightened Siddha's bodies. It is there. Then what to do? Then we have to look into your life and rewrite the whole history. We can't say, oh, your whole life you ate in McDonald's and this is what has happened. No. We will have to open our third eye and read below your actions, the intentions, and bring out the whole science and present it. Understand, as long as your future is not completed, past also can't be completed. Only when the future ends, you can have an idea about your past. So do not be under the myth that your past is lived already. Your past is over already. No! I am not going to just transform your future and present. I am going to transform your past also. Because it is not yet over. Decision. Experientially transforming the future, present, past, all. And all is living Advaita. I'll expand on living Advaita continuously. Now, start contemplating on this one great truth, completing, radiating complete completion, not just about your future and the present, about the past also. Meditate, you will realize it. Listen to today's satsang again and again, 2-3 times, you will catch it. So, I bless you all. Meditate, radiate this truth today. Continuously. Come back for further sessions. Some of these declarations and announcements, this whole year we dedicate it to 3 important things. 1, Nama Sankirtan. All over the world we will be conducting Nama Sankirtan and enriching the world. 2, creating temple-based Gurukuls all over the world. Temple-based Gurukuls, enriching the world. 3, living Advaita. Today, my Kalpataru Darshan and blessings for all of you, even the people who are watching on 2-way, 1-way, everyone. For all of you I give my Kalpataru Darshan and blessings to all you guys. Be blissful. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching and causing and living Advaita. Eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org, www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.
नित्यानन्देश्वर समारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome everyone who is sitting with us through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, Ara TV, and two-way video conferencing. Cities sitting with us in two-way video conferencing, Canterbury, Australia, San Jose, Madurai, Australia. I am able to see your fair. My blessings for the program to be successful. Nirbeda, Paul Sadasivam, blessings for all of you for the program to be successful. And many more cities are joining. I welcome every one of you with my love and respects. Today I am going to expand on just only one word, Atmahana. Let's repeat the Upanishad, third mantra, third sutra in Isavasya Upanishad. Asurya namate lokaha antena tamasavrutaha tagaste pretyabhigachanti eke chatmahano janaha. Atmahana. Even while you are alive, saying yes to death is Atmahana, hell. Even during the so-called death, saying yes is liberation, enlightenment. Varanasi stands for that principle of saying yes to life even when it presents death. Listen. Saying yes to life even when it presents death. Saying no to life in any form is Atmahana. Understand? If you feel, if you perceive life is doing something against you, life is not letting what you want happen, this feeling, life is not cooperating with me, supporting me, making what I want happen. This feeling is as universal as universe itself. Understand this truth is from Akashic records. Listen. Listen. I'm colloquially presenting to you, means in the user-friendly language I am presenting. Maybe I'll read the original Akashic records as it is and then present it to all of you. By its own existence, it expands into possibilities. Because of its existence and saying Tatastu to life, yes to life, life shows you the possibilities which you declare as denied to you. If life is interested in denying, it will not even show its possibilities to you in the first place. Its possibilities, by being revealed to you itself, the yes is given to you and your decision, expression to live is accepted, respected, encouraged by you claiming life is not cooperating or supporting into what you want. You are denying the very revelations and expressions happened to your very consciousness. Listen. By its own light, moon shows the black patches inside it. By its own light, moon shows the black patches inside it. On new moon day, you will never find black patches of the moon. Only on the full moon day, you will find the black patches. It means by its light only, even the black patches are found. If you are finding the black patches of the moon is shining, reflecting light. Understand? Because the possibilities are revealed to you, you even come to know about those possibilities. For example, you think flying is possible for you and then complain life is not letting you achieve that. Becoming a billionaire is possible for you and then complain life is not letting you to achieve that. Understand? The very moment life informs you something is possible, it is saying yes to you. The very moment you come to know flying is possible, becoming billionaire is possible, life is supporting you. That is why it is even making you understand it is possible for you. try to listen the Akashic records which I read out just now, again and again, at least 5 times. Today the Akashic records I read out about this sutra is the subject for Vakyartha Sadas. Listen, you feeling life is not letting what you want to happen in your life. For example, you always wanted health, but life is never letting that happen to you. You always wanted wealth, and just one day before you achieving it, everything collapses.